what I mean by beyond the boundaries, I don't need to explain it like in a very hard way, because I believe my life has been beyond the boundaries only. So I would like to just give a gist about it. Back in 2012, when I completed my 12th examination, I scored, I just got through the examination via passing marks. And I have always been a topper since class first. And then there came this moment where it broke me. It broke me because I've always been a topper. And 12th class is supposed to be the most important pathway towards your future plan. That's where things started changing. I thought, what will I do next? Because my parents were like asking me, what has happened? What did you do throughout the year? Trust me, for even a month or two, I didn't step out of my home because I believed, or I thought what my neighbors would say, what my friends would say, because I've always been a topper. But what takes to go through such situation, such stormy emotion, is your willpower. The moment I realize that I am going through it, that's me, I have to go through it. And I passed that phase. I believe there I broke the first ever boundary of my life, that was passing through your stormy emotions, because I believe that's the toughest job one can do. Then there comes the second step. Because I've always been a studious person, I scored really very well in 10th and all of my classes. So as all of you all, I also brought up by my parents in a typical Rajput Rajasthani family, wherein my dad has one way of doing things. That's his way. It sounds funny, but it was like that. So he came to me and he was like, what next? I was like, I'm still figuring it out. He was like, you can go through, like you can take engineering, you can be a doctor, you can be a bank personnel, you can be a teacher, like the most secure job for women we consider. So those things were happening and he wanted me to be an engineer. See, during that phase, because I was already demotivated because I couldn't do well in my 12th, I just got through via passing marks. So I really wanted to make him feel proud. I really wanted to please him, but not at the cost of my dreams, my goals. So that's where the second boundary starts, is believing in yourself and fight for yourself. So I went up to him and asked him, like, I have thought for myself something and I want to do mass communication. That's where it all starts. He was like, what do you mean by mass communication? And believe me, during those days, I only understood the meaning of communication. That's it. I personally didn't know what mass communication is. What do we learn in that course? So my parents were like, it's journalism, it's, news anchor, that glamorous feel. ये सब घर में नहीं चलता. हम लोग राजपूत फैमिली से आते हैं, तो ये सब, to be honest, नहीं चलता. I was like, but I want to do it. Nobody was with me. My family was like totally against it. I understood their mindset as well, because they were concerned about their child. Especially being a girl child, it becomes quite difficult in my community to come up with such, difficult tasks and go through it. But then by then I decided I have to do it. I will do it. No matter who's supporting me or not, I will do it. But then by then, 1, 2, 3, maybe months passed away. All the entrance exams of the course got over by then. And there was only one college left. And I was in Hyderabad during those days. And that was one of the biggest, Catholic college of the city. That was very expensive too. It wasn't in my list earlier. But then I had no choice, because only that college was left. Direct walk-in interviews were going. Only 4 reserved seats were left for almost 400 to 500 students. So I decided to give that interview. Nobody was with me. They were not ready to take me for the admission. But वो कहते हैं ना कि मुश्किल वक्त में भगवान किसी ना किसी को आपके लिए लेके आता है. तो my mom stood up for me. She said, okay, I'll be part of your journey. I'll take you there. I still remember that day. That was Monday, and she usually do fasts on Monday. That was a hot summer day. She came along. She sat with me the whole day. I was standing in the queue. There were 400 to 500 students. But that little woman inside me didn't break at that moment, because I have to be strong. I had to be strong because there was that strong woman sitting under that tree in fasting mode. And she knew I'll get through. So I got that power from her. And I got through. There were only 4 seats, 400 to 500 students, and I backed one. I felt all good. Things were good. My parents got convinced after a while. And I passed through the graduation. I was one of the toppers as well. I did well. So I broke that second boundary of fear. Fearing from certain values which have been set by your parents, which are there from ages into your community, and you have to break it at any cost. Then the real journey starts. I got through my graduation. I was like, what next? I have to work, because I was in Hyderabad. It was all Telugu industry. I didn't know Telugu that fluent. I was good at English and Hindi. So I wanted to pursue my journalism career in Hindi journalism. And Delhi is the hub, as you all know. All the big national news channels are in Noida. So I went to my parents again, like a shameless kid. And I was like, I want to go to Noida. And then they were like, nahi, अकेले लड़की को हम कैसे भेज सकते हैं, वहां कैसे रहोगी, हमने आज तक हमारी कम्युनिटी में कोई ऐसे बाहर रह के नहीं पढ़ा है, नौकरी नहीं की है, आपको पढ़ा लिया, साथ में थे आप पेरेंट्स के. All those things were going on. But then again, the powerful woman with me, my mom supported me. And by then, in this whole chaos and conversation and convincing process, 6 months I passed away. Then I still remember 2015, August, I came to Noida. I shifted here. My brother was here. He helped me out. I started my journey. I started doing broadcast journalism. And then after that, I got a job at a YouTube channel. I was like happy. Okay, I'm doing something in news anchoring. And I was lucky enough to get first job as a news anchor. I didn't do any reporting or desk work. I was fortunate enough. I was happy. But then my parents weren't that happy, because I couldn't achieve what I asked them. I told them. I wasn't happy from inside. What am I doing? So I was just working hard, working hard, working hard. There were things coming from family, from relatives, and everywhere, whatnot. So there was a war going on inside me. But I always believe if you stop pushing your limits, limits will limit you. So I always believed in that fact. So I never stopped pushing my limit. In 2019, I suppose, I got through in India News. That was for my first national channel as a news anchor. My parents were all happy. They were good. I was also happy that I'm doing well. I achieved this much at a very small age. I was working with few of the finest journalists of the country. But then the real war started here. That was my third boundary, wherein I used to go to for conclaves, coverages out of station for 2 to 3 days. I used to go alone with a camera person who used to be male. We are not supposed, we as in we Rajput women in our community are not supposed to, work day night. So I used to get those things कि रात रात भर क्यों बाहर रहना है, 2-2 3 तक क्यों बाहर रहना है, अकेले मेल के साथ क्यों जाना है. But that's how our industry work. If one reporter or anchor is going, only one camera person will be there, and most probably he is a male. So I used to get stuck in those thoughts. How will I deal with it? This is my profession. I have to do it. So there was a point I used to have conflict with the most powerful pillar of my life, the person who supported me the most, my mom, because there she started restricting me. The first time she started restricting me that you cannot do this, you cannot do that, because you come from a certain community, you have certain values, you have certain this, that. And I didn't want to, put her down, never wanted to hurt her, because she was the backbone of my real journey. So yeah, it became so difficult for me to balance those things out, but I still went through and I broke the third boundary of, hurting our loved ones. I did hurt my mom, I know. But I knew whatever I'm doing is for good cause. Maybe I'm not able to make them understand certain things, or maybe they're not well educated to understand such culture of my industry. But whatever I'm doing, I knew I'm not doing anything wrong. So that belief helped me cross that boundary. So there are 3 rules. Set your boundary, cross it, keep moving. So that is something very important you need to know and you understand, because this is very, very important to understand. It's like moving on. The moment you stop, and the moment you stop dreaming, you stop setting your goals, it's very something that limits you the most. There are 4-step formula I would like to tell you, which I always apply in my life, is dare to dream. Dare to dream. The D stands for discover your goal. You need to discover your goal, what you want in your life, what you always wanted to do in your life. The second one is act for it. Without your actions, your dreaming, your imagination would go flat. You have to act for it. As I acted, I took the responsibility, I stood up for myself. Then comes R, reinvent your dream. The whole word dare to dream, D-A-R-E. R stands for reinvent your dream. By reinventing, I mean, when I was in class 12, I didn't get through what I wanted to. I just got through via passing mark. I was a science student. Before that, I wanted to be an engineer or so. Then later, I reinvented myself that I am good at public speaking. I'm a people-oriented person. I can do something well in this field. So let's just go for it. So I reinvented. The last one is E, D-A-R-E. E stands for earn for your dream. By earning, I means every profession, every dream, or whatever you achieve in your life, or whatever work you do, always you'll earn out of it, right? But what is more important is earning real happiness. Are you happy with what you are doing? Are you satisfied? Are you accomplished? Have you achieved what you always wanted to be? So this is what I mean by dare to dream. See, there is an important rule behind what am I today. Is Malcolm Gladwell once said, behind every achievement, there are 10,000 hours of work. Whatever I am right now, maybe I am very young to, be in front of you all, giving you a TED talk. I believe I would like to get invited again after 5 or 10 years. Not because I am a journalist of India Today Group, one of the biggest media institute of the country, but as a person who has done something good to the society, who has done something good at least for her community. I so wanted to do something for my community to bring that change, what I've brought for myself. So what do you mean by, see, when you live with your boundary, it's like living in a hospital or in a room, hospital bed, with that oxygen mask on and inhaling oxygen just to alive. That's like living with boundaries. But when you live without boundary, that is where you can move out of that room and go at any corner of the world and freely inhale the oxygen. That is what real meaning of living without boundaries. So I think I am living my life without boundaries. I have my life in my control and I am enjoying it. I am really enjoying it. And this is the phase where my family have trust in me, faith in me, and they all have become my backbone now. They all are proud of me. But I so wish from the bottom of my heart that I could got, that support, that trust, that faith when I needed that the most, because I think I'm a very strong-headed person. I think I'm really very strong-headed person. Whatever I want in my life, I achieve it. I want it, I fight for it. But not everyone is. Maybe I was not that self-confident person. I would have just given up on things and did whatever my parents or probably my father asked to tell me. I've done that. A journalist, a young journalist, probably a bold, outspoken woman would have died long back. But it's not same for everybody. It wasn't very easy for me though. So life is very short to overthink. Just feel it's okay. okay, everything will be fine, and just move on. That is what I believe in, because you all need to trust yourself the most. Because when you go through the dictionary, English dictionary, the official definition of a dream is something you desperately want, but is not likely to happen. So I would take a second to emphasize on the second phrase, which says is not likely to happen. But when I see people who feel, sad about themselves, who questions their thought, who are not very motivated, then there are people like Shah Rukh Khan. By taking his name, it brings a huge smile on my face. He came to the industry at a zero and become hero of the industry. And there are millions of people. There are, all the players, Neeraj Chopra, and everyone out there. They all came from nothing and became everything of their field. So what made them different from the people who have self-doubts? I was just figuring it out, the difference. It took me a year almost to understand that. And the difference is very simple, is very, very easy. It's make it happen. People who doubt themselves always think, I wanted this, I wanted that, but it just didn't work out. So I didn't get it, and they feel sad about it. But people like Shah Rukh Khan and all these successful people, inspiring people, they thought, it's okay, I didn't get this, let's move on, try on something else, reinvent probably our dreams. So this is what it was happening. So make it happen. A nuance of your mindset is very important to achieve what you want in your life. As I said, stop overthinking and just move forward, because life is too short to overthink. Just say it's okay, everything will be fine, and move forward, because it is very, very important to trust yourself and dream. I would say just dream. Imagination is something everyone needs to have, because I believe no one on this earth has come with zero purpose. All of us all have different abilities, different creativities, or different talents. Just use it, go through it, want it, achieve it. That's what I would say. And hashtag beyond the boundaries, I think, is the perfect tagline for today's talk.